He was gonna try to bring me in. I don't think y'all are.
Okay, Jerry, we're ready to start. If you want to open it up.
I got three here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the October meeting here in El Dorado, Arkansas.
Talk into your microphone.
I'm talking.
You guys.
Yeah. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the October meeting of the Arkansas Energy and Environmental. This is the Oil and Gas Committee. And I turn it over to the director, Larry Bangle. Thank you.
I'd like to make sure I have everyone who's present. Jim Phillips, is he here?
No, sir.
Okay.
He is going to Zoom.
Commissioner Phillips and Commissioner Smith are both absent, I believe. So we'll need to have a vote to approve their absences.
I'll move.
Second.
Had a first from Chris Weiser and a second by Mark Thomas to approve.
Okay. I'm going to turn over to the hearing officer to begin the hearing.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Director, and thank you, Commissioners. On our regular docket, we're going to go ahead and continue the matters in docket number 050-2024-09 until November 4th and 5th. And then we also get a request from Mr. Perkins to continue the matters in docket 074-2024-10, 075-2024-10, 076-2024-10, and 077-2024-10. That leaves, at least on the agenda, I think we have an extra matter that's not listed on the agenda that Pimpleton is going to get into. But the first item that I have is in docket number 072-2024-10. The applicant is Riverfront Exploration LLC. Mr. Honey is the attorney of record. The subject is the extension of temporary abandonment status. Location is section 21, Township 8 North, range 32 West, County of Sebastian, Field is Massard. Mr. Honey, you are recognized.
Thank you, Judge Moulton. Start with the pre-filed exhibits. Exhibit A is a list of interested parties. Exhibit B is the notice of hearing. Exhibit C is a proof of publication. Exhibit D is the affidavit of service of a notice of this hearing by first class mail. I'd ask that the pre-filed exhibits be admitted, and I have one witness in support of this application, Mr. Darrell Stovall. I'd ask that he be sworn.
Your motion is granted. Those exhibits are part of the record.
Bob, before we begin,
Yeah.
I think Commissioner Westfall will need to recuse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry about that. You get that?
I don't think the commissioners can hear you very well. I'm not certain what to do about that.
Pull the microphone right up to you. You have to speak directly into the microphone.
All right. How about now?
Yeah, better.
Is that better, Commissioner Westfall?
Yes, I need to recuse myself.
He's recused too.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry, go ahead, please proceed.
Yeah, we're starting over, or if we're
I think we're good in terms of.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Darrell. All right, Mr. Stovall, would you please state your name?
Darrell Stovall.
And how are you employed?
I'm employed by Riverfront Exploration.
Okay. What is going on with the Porter D? What's the reason for needing an extension of the TA status?
We have a pipeline problem with the local utility. We have a restriction in the line that we're trying to get worked out so we can put the well back on. Porter D is capable of 150 to 200 MCF a day, so it's very commercial if we can get it back online.
So you don't even need to rework it. It's just a pipeline issue.
It's just a pipeline issue.
I'll pass the witness.
Commissioners, any questions?
None here.
Hearing none. Mr. Honey, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, do you have a question?
That's for you.
No, sir. No, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Honey, does that conclude your presentation?
It does.
Thank you, sir. That'll call the evidentiary part of the record to a close. This matter is ready for adjudication. Is there a motion from the commission?
I move we approve as presented.
Commissioner Lawson has moved to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Wolford has seconded. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda, in docket number 073-2024-10. Again, the applicant is Riverfront Exploration LLC. Mr. Honey is the attorney of record. The subject is extension of temporary abandonment status. Location is section 21, township 8 north, range 32 west, county of Sebastian, field is Massard. Mr. Honey, you are recognized, sir.
Start with well, I think we'll have a recusal again.
Yes, Benny Westfall, I'll have to recuse on this one.
Did you get that, Judge Moulton?
Yes.
All right, starting with the list of pre-filed exhibits. Exhibit A is the list of interested parties. Exhibit B is the notice of hearing. Exhibit C is the proof of publication. Exhibit D is the affidavit of service of notice by first-class mail. I have one witness in support of this application, Mr. Darrell Stovall. I'd ask that the pre-filed exhibits be admitted and that Mr. Stovall be sworn.
I'm sorry, Mr. Honey, we're trying to mess with the volume on our end. It's up all the way.
Full volume.
Okay, thank you. All right, motion is granted. Those exhibits are made part of the record. Please proceed, Mr. Honey.
Darrell, would you please state your name?
Darrell Stovall,
How are you employed?
Riverfront Exploration.
And tell us what's going on with the LARCO number 2. Why are you needing an extension of the TA status?
Same problem as the Porter D number 3. It's going into the local utility. We have a pipeline restriction that we're trying to work out, but the well is capable of 50 MCF a day, and we just need to get that worked out so we can get the well back online.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Mr. Honey. Commissioners, any questions? All right, if there are none, Mr. Honey, does that conclude your presentation?
It does.
All right, thank you, sir. That'll call the evidentiary part of the record to a close. This matter is ready for adjudication. Is there a motion from the commission?
Move we approve.
Mr. Wolford has moved to approve. Mr. Lawson has seconded. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes unanimously. 6-3. Yeah. Next item on the agenda is docket number 078-2024-10. The applicant is Weiser Brown Operating Company. The attorney of record is Mr. Daly. The subject is exceptional location. Location is section 9, township 15 south, range 22 west, county is Nevada, and field is Falcon. Mr. Daly, you are recognized.
Thank you. I have one
Excuse me, Tom. Chris Weiser here needs to recuse, please.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Weiser, no, for the record, Commissioner Weiser has recused.
I have one witness, Mr. Ken Fritchie. Ken is an expert in petroleum geology, and his credentials as such were first recognized by this commission in its order reference number 68-85. The applicant's exhibits are as follows. Exhibit A is a list of interested parties. Exhibit B is a well survey. Exhibit C is a structure map. Exhibit D is an ISOPAC map. E is an affidavit of mailing of public notice, a notice of public hearing, and F is the proof of publication. The originals of E and F were sent by Federal Express yesterday to Mr. Pilking in North Little Rock. We moved the admission of those exhibits into evidence and ask that Mr. Fritchie be sworn.
Motion is granted. Mr. Daly, those exhibits are part of the record. Please proceed.
Ken, please state your name.
Ken Fritchie.
Are you familiar with the geology of the proposed well, which is the subject of this application?
Yes.
Did you in fact prepare exhibits C and D, the structure map and the ISOPAC map?
Yes, sir.
Particularly with reference to exhibit C, explain the issue as far as drilling this well at a non-exceptional location and why therefore you're requesting a location exception.
Well, this location is defined by 3D seismic, and the location is at the high spot of the seismic and on the better line of the seismic east-west line. So it's the highest spot on the east-west on the east-west tract, and or northeast southwest. And also one other reason that we didn't go further north would be that the if you were to draw that fault straight through instead of curving to the north, there is that possibility that the fault would go straight on through. And at this location, we would stay up front.
It looks like you have a fairly tight target that you need to drill into, which inconveniently is close to quarter section lines.
Yes.
Is it the intent of the operator to, if this well is successful, apply for and form a unit which will be configured such as that this is a non-exceptional location within the ultimate unit?
Yes.
Any questions for Mr. Fritchie?
Is there any other production in the area?
There is Natchitoches production all through around this proposed location.
Thank you, sir.
This well is targeted for the Smackover, Ken?
Yes.
Mr. Daly, we need to make the witnesses sworn. I think we've omitted that.
Oh, I thought we did.
Any other questions from the commission?
Did you hear me, Judge Moulton? We need to swear Ken for the record.
We need to swear Ken in for the record.
All right, sir, would you be so kind as to raise your right hand? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this hearing is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear that I will, and I did.
Yes. I'll tell you, commissioners, I can barely hear over here. I really can't. I'm having a real difficult time trying to pick up what's being said. So my apologies.
I've been emailing Portsmouth, so they can hear us fine, they can hear each other.
Yeah.
It seems to be the problem on our end, and our volume is at 100%. So we're not quite sure.
Right.
You're loud and clear in Fort Smith.
Yeah.
Right, I think it's since you can hear each other in Fort Smith and El Dorado, and you can hear us fine, and our volume's at 100%, it must be an issue
on our end.
on our end, so.
Yeah, but I'm having a real difficult time hearing anybody. So my apologies. All right, Mr. Daly, do you want to start your questioning or your witness? I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
I think we did that, Judge Moulton.
Oh, you
I'm
did that?
sorry that you couldn't
Okay.
hear.
Again, my apologies. All right.
Yes, you heard it.
Okay.
All we did is swear.
All I could hear was mumbling. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell who was speaking.
So Kevin said we can turn it up on this tablet. Okay. Testing.
All right, Trent, would somebody just, Mr. Daly, let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
Presentation.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Now we can hear you.
Better. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is a real short testimony. You want to do it again?
It's fine if you'd like. That's fine. He's been sworn in. Go ahead and have him give his testimony now that we can hear him.
All right. State your name, Ken.
Ken Fritchie, consulting geologist for Weiser Brown.
You prepared the geologic exhibits, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
With respect to Exhibit C, the structure map, please explain why you have chosen a location that is close to quarter section lines for this proposed well.
That's the highest point on our 3D seismic survey, and we don't have any idea what the where the oil water contact might be, so we want to be as high as possible. And also it's a small tight window, like you were saying, and the fault could cut us off. Could come straight across instead of that arcuate shape that it's in. So that would leave us still up thrown.
So if this is a successful well, is it Weiser Brown's intent to apply for and form a unit which will so surround this well that it is no longer an exceptional location?
Yes.
Questions for Mr. Fritchie?
Commissioners, any questions? I think you've already asked them, but if you want to ask them again, have at it. All right. Hearing no questions, Mr. Daly, does that conclude your presentation, sir?
Yes, sir, it does, Judge Moon.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, if that's the case, I call the evidentiary part of the record to a close. Matter is ready for adjudication. Commissioners, is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Chairman Langley has moved to approve or adopt. Second?
Mark Thomas made a second.
All right. Commissioner Thomas has made the second. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
We've got one other item, Commissioners. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Pickleton in terms of what that presentation is. Daniel, if you could.
Yes, Judge Belton, there was a application that was filed on October 11th after the agenda was generated. It was concerning a possible well transfer for several wells that we had dealt with previously in docketed matters. Since we filed that application, it has come to our attention that the transfer is not going to occur. So at this time, Commission staff is going to request that this docketed matter 079A-2024-10 be dismissed.
Any questions, Commissioners? If not, there needs to be a motion from the Commission to dismiss this particular docket. Is there a motion?
I make a motion. Second.
All right, Chairman Langley has made a motion to dismiss, seconded by Commissioner Weiser. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. You want to do that? How long do you want to do that? Yeah. Okay. All right, next item on the agenda is the open docket. Commission will hear public comments concerning the following areas of commission jurisdiction: whether or not waste of oil and or gas is taking place or is reasonably imminent, the optimum equitable rate of production for each controlled source of supply, whether or not any rules and regulations currently in effect should be considered for revision, or if additional rules should be considered, and then any other matters brought before the commission over which it has jurisdiction. Does anybody on this conference call have any item that they would like to discuss relative to those points? Well, now for the record, there were none. And I will turn it over to the director for the director's report.
Okay, thank you. A couple of items to go over. Housekeeping, we have emailed each one of you your expense sheets for this meeting. So when you get those filled out, you can email them back to myself or Shannon, so we can get those processed. As you all know, next, or in 2 weeks, I think it's 2 weeks, it's not 2 weeks. November 4th will be our special hearing to hear the lithium application. That meeting is scheduled to begin Monday morning on the 4th at 9 o'clock. For those of you who need rooms, we've already scheduled those. If you have not been notified of that room for Sunday night, you can email myself or Shannon. We'll make sure that you have a reservation for the room for Sunday night and maybe even Monday night. I think we've scheduled them for both nights just in case the hearing extends over 2 days. The hearing will be at the community college meeting venue. It will not be at the Oil and Gas Commission. That venue has a capacity for I think 300 in attendance, so it will be well. There'll be availability for whoever shows up for that particular hearing. One item that we will go over that's a little bit different than our normal hearings, in that prior to the hearing, at the request of the applicants, there was a pre-hearing conference held last week. Judge Bolton had a hearing on several motions from applicants dealing with some procedural issues and matters of law. That particular pre-hearing lasted 4 hours. So we wanted to go over those issues in a pre-hearing conference rather than take up that time during the hearing for the lithium royalty issue. You have been sent the decisions, the recommended decisions from Judge Bolton on those items that were heard at the pre-hearing conference. So your first order of business prior to beginning the testimony on the application will be to approve or deny those recommended decisions from the hearing officer on those items. You've received those decisions, so familiarize yourself with those, because first order of business will be to go over those recommended decisions and either approve or deny those. Judge Moulton will provide explanations on some of those decisions prior to your discussions, then vote on those. And hopefully that won't take a whole lot of time, because we do need as much time as possible to get into the specific matter of the testimony that will be presented on the royalty application. I think that's everything that I need to go over for that hearing. It should be interesting.
Yeah.
Any questions on anything?
I had a question on these subpoenas. If we say that we want to hold them to these subpoenas, are we going to have a hearing?
That's up to you, commissioners, whether you want to move forward or not. But the legal fact of the matter is, if you want to hold them to the express terms of those subpoenas, the only way that you can get them enforced is to file something in circuit court to have them enforced. So if that's the prerogative of the commission, you would, I don't want to get into it because it's not really part of the agenda and it's not appropriate to get into the merits of the subpoenas.
That's the
But
discussion will take place.
That's going to happen on the morning of November 4th. But yeah, the process would be, if you want them enforced, you have to go to circuit court to get them enforced. We don't have the authority at the administrative level to enforce them. So, I mean, rhetorically speaking, it could be that you still hold the hearing. And then at the end, if you don't think you've heard enough information, then maybe you can make a decision about enforcing the subpoenas. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I understand it. I just didn't want to drive down there and drive right back because we were going to hold the subpoenas, but it sounds like we could hear it either way. Okay, no, I'm fine.
This way, Commissioner, you have options, if that makes sense.
And you'll have to all remember that there will only be 8 commissioners present. Tim Smith, unfortunately, due to health issues, will not be there.
Okay.
So anything that's voted on will have to have a vote of 5. I think that covers all that we want to cover prior to the hearing, probably a little more than we discussed, but that's the process that will occur. So the first item of business will be the motions, and then we'll get into the testimony from the applicants. That's all I have.
All right, Mr. Chairman, back to you, sir.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.